Perfect. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Alex here, host for Phoenix Holdings, and we have quite a team with us here tonight. We have Umbrium Project, and actually, I'll give you guys the floor, whichever whichever wants to start with the introduction, and we'll move on from one to the other. Clint, I'm assuming we're going to start with you, so you have the floor.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So my name's Clint Rodriguez. I am the CEO and one of the three co-founders of Umbreum and the Dark Nexus. We are a metaverse project backed by our token Umbreum, and my background personally, I actually started in the entertainment industry, working for studios like Disney and Marvel, doing strategy and insights. I then happened to move through the tech sector and large tech manufacturers, working for people like Intel, Microsoft, and Lenovo. And then more recently, I got to fulfill my dream and move into the gaming sector and work for the company Jam City, doing strategy and insights, particularly on their play to earn game that's coming out in the next. I keep about to give a date, and then I don't actually know since I'm not there anymore, and I'm building my own project. But coming out ideally in the next year, their play to earn game Champions Ascension. That's my background. I'm going to let my co-founder Lynx introduce herself now, and then we'll let other members of our team introduce themselves.
Hey everyone, I'm Lynx. We call me the chief mad scientist on the team. I'm also one of the initial founders. My background, most recently, I was at Playboy, working on the Playboy Rabbitars NFT PFP project, as well as their metaverse Playboy Mansions. I come up with ideas, I write game design documents, and I work on making the metaverse aspects of this really fun.
Cool. And I'd like to introduce Samir, our game director. He is also here, and Dan is also on the call now, and he is good, and he'll let him introduce himself after Samir.
Yeah. Hi everyone. Well, I've been working in the 3D space. I am the game director. I've been working in the 3D space for about 10 years now. Been part of about 5 game releases. 2 of those have been in the adult space, so Subverse, Project Helios, Operation Lovecraft, and 2 NFT games. One of which recently released like their live demo a week ago or something. And yeah, I'm happy to be here. We're working on something interesting, and we'll do a lot of great things. And yeah, that's about it.
So far, so good. Who's next?
Dan, you want to jump in now?
Yeah, I was just all right there, and now I'm unmuted. Hey, how's everybody doing today? My name's Daniel, the marketing director, the chief marketing officer rather, over here at Umbreum. A little bit about myself. I've got a background in the music industry, music and entertainment. Been doing large scale music events like festivals and stuff like that for quite a long time. I've been in crypto for about 5 years. I met Clint and his team about 2 months ago or so, and came on board and have been grinding really hard to get this project to where it is and to take it further. The team's awesome. I know I jumped in a few minutes late, so I don't want to kind of I don't want to repeat anything that anybody's already said, but yeah, I don't know what I missed. So aside to apologize for the tardiness there, I was trying to find a charger.
No, we're just all still going through introductions, man. So your timing was actually perfect.
Awesome, sweet.
Definitely pleasure to have you here, Daniel. I'm not sure, Clint. Are there any other members that would like to introduce themselves, or should I start digging into the project?
I don't know if anyone else wants to introduce themselves. I will give a quick shout out to both, to our other co-founder Christina Wesley, as well as all of our mods and marketing team here. Dicey, Z, R2Day, Bongo Cha, H. All of you guys are amazing, and and also our lead designers who work very closely with Samir. Everybody kind of deserves a call out on that. So there's a depth of team, but that's I think everybody who'll introduce themselves.
Perfect, perfect. We'll take that as the introduction. Sorry about that, Dan. I had to mute you because you were echoing. So I mean, you're allowed to speak. You just need to hit the unmute button. Um, whenever it's the
Sorry
case.
about
I think there was an echo from you. Yeah. Perfect. So first of all, thanks you guys for being here. Thanks for joining us here at Phoenix with the project. I hope I'm not going to butcher the name Umbrium. Um, Please correct me if I'm wrong. Is that how you
You
pronounce
got it.
it?
You got it, man. You got it.
Perfect, perfect. Now, from a start, I can see that you guys have quite the experience, vast experience over, I will say, pretty much every single area of expertise that I can think about when it comes to developing a project. Not that I've ever done it, but one can only think. Um, let's actually start right with Umbrium because it's quite extensive from what I can see. I cheated a bit, and while I was getting the water, I also opened the white paper to be prepared. So let's start off on the intro. What does Umbrium stand for? What is it as a project? How do you guys think about it? So on and so forth. Yeah.
Certainly. I think I'll kind of go ahead and take it away for the most part here. Umbrium is it's called the Umbra is Latin for dark. So this is meant to be the coin of the dark nexus. So we wanted to establish a currency that's actually usable inside of the metaverse that we're creating. So I mentioned like I came on board about 2 months ago. When I had initially come on board, this was an NFT metaverse project only. The idea of a token had not come about yet, and I'm not claiming any credit here. My idea with the suggestion of the whole team was to kind of make this currency that we will then use later for all of the services and all of the things that we perform or that content creators and other people perform and do in the metaverse in the dark nexus. So Umbrium, Umbra for dark, kind of playing off the word Ethereum, Umbrium. So it's meant to be the currency for our metaverse, the dark nexus. So that's kind of where that idea came, and we've since we brought it to life. It's been doing really well with very little amounts of really not too much nudging it just yet because we're kind of waiting for most of the marketing for the dark nexus to actually be what drives the Umbrium value. So as we start to release things with the actual metaverse dark nexus and we start to roll that stuff out, that's what's going to make people jump on board with Umbrium, buying it up now so that they can then use it later for services and to purchase things, so on and so forth in the dark nexus when we fully release that, which a little teaser date will be around Christmas time.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you, Daniel. Every time you guys are gonna answer one of my questions, I'm gonna probably give it a couple more seconds in case one of you wants to step in with something additional. So I'm not sleeping, but I'm just considering that maybe one of you wants to add something. Now you said that when you first started, the idea of the token itself, of the token as you embody it, it was not developed. How did you? Okay, let's give you credit for this idea solely, maybe for others as well. How'd you come up with the idea? I mean, what inspired you to say, you guys have done great, but I would add this as well? What was your initial thought?
I mean, Dan, that is very much you, given that that was exactly,
Oh,
I think, what you said was you guys have done great, but now let's do a token.
yeah, that's kind of essentially what it was. And I realized that there was a meat left on the bone. Like this great metaverse needs something, and we don't want to. So initially, like there was ideas of using other people's token and having them kind of come into our metaverse, and we would use their currency. And I just it just didn't make sense. Like it was like, why don't we do our own? Like you guys have Clint is a freaking genius. Like his team is capable of anything. They just dropped me in. I kind of came up with the idea, and like I said, I'm not trying to take credit for coming up with the idea whatsoever. Like this is a team effort, 100%. But I just mentioned it, and we kind of ran with it, and it just made sense. And then we were like, we can with this coin, we're gonna have a swap, so we'll be wrapping other tokens in Umbrium. This way, you'll be able to swap in and out of other currencies for other projects in our metaverse, still using the underlying token Umbrium as your base pair. Um, and I mean, there's just like so much we can do, and so much more that can be done with it being. Take it.
Interesting. So, Umbrium is the token itself, and then the dark nexus is actually the metaverse where we ideally would make all our operations. Am I understanding this correct so far?
That's correct.
Perfect. Now let's start before we dive straight into the metaverse itself, into the dark nexus. Um, Umbrium, what's its main utility? How did you guys let's say envision the token? And then let's go straight into how will I, as a potential investor, be able to use Umbrium within the metaverse?
So,
Whichever of you guys wants to cover that.
so its main utility is the same utility that dollar bill has. Like that's what's so simple about the principle here. It's nothing revolutionary. It's literally money. Like we want you to use it like you would use a dollar bill, a quid, a pound, a rupee, whatever. Just like money inside of our metaverse. So in our city, in our world. That's it. Nothing
Right.
special. There's nothing like super revolutionary. The code is good, solid code that's worked. It's we've used the contract's been used for other projects as well. Slight edits, slight modifications, but it's good code. It's not going to fail. Um, it's just a currency, and you'll be
Right.
able to
It's
use
really
it.
actually impossible to separate the utility of Umbreum from the metaverse. What we're looking to do is have it be how you spend, whether it's buying new furniture for your private room in the metaverse, whether it's buying new clothing for your avatar that either we've created or users have created, whether it's buying a lap dance from a stripper or gambling at a roulette table. It's really about everything that you can do and that you would want to do in our metaverse, and how how you interact and transact.
Yep, exactly what she said. Literally.
Interesting. So I'm actually gonna let's say apply to the real world. The dark nexus itself as the metaverse is actually the real world, and Umbrium is basically, as you said, a dollar, a rupee, a euro, whatever currency
Yeah.
you want to choose, and I'll use that to pretty much operate or perform any action that would require a let's say a payment.
That's right.
Yep. Exactly right. And just I'm going to take a moment now just to remind everybody too that we are doing a big buy contest, and anyone during this AMA, all buys that come in, the biggest buy will win a free avatar, a free NFT to the metaverse. And like that being said, with our plans for Umbrium, it's expected to stabilize when we release the metaverse and have it actually being used transacted. So now is truly a very good time. Even though we're hitting all time high after all time high, that's going to continue to happen until we get to December when we fully release the metaverse and we stabilize the token by dumping a bunch more liquidity in there and creating a 1-to-1 ratio.
So big plans ahead. Already looking at the at I'll say at the long term. I think you mentioned December as an tentative time frame, maybe.
Yes,
Now,
December is when we will be releasing the full metaverse, the full game, like essentially the full. Yeah,
pretty much the full, or maybe almost the full
it won't. Yeah,
ecosystem
I don't want to
that you
say full
guys
because of course there will be more and more to come, but we'll be releasing the first installment, the first fully playable installment of our metaverse to the public.
definitely we cannot use the term full, but another piece of the puzzle that is your project. Just to yeah to make it sound different. Looking at
I was gonna
so
say we
sorry.
will be releasing a demo in September at PulseCon. We'll subsequently at the same time we'll be launching our blank NFTs. The mint will be done as well, and there will be a demo available in September. And I think Shamir, when he screen shares with you guys shortly here, will give you a little bit more to see about that.
Definitely looking forward to that. It's simpler, let's say, to actually see or to get some sneak peeks instead of imagining what things would be. Not that I don't like surprises myself, but at least a bit of insight on it. Now,
There's already enough surprises in crypto without being
yeah, I'm gonna focus on the good ones. We have to focus on the good ones at least for now. Uh, Looking at your guys' roadmap, I'm not actually gonna speculate anything because I don't know much. Um, what stage would you say you guys are in right now? I'm assuming phase one probably, but
Yeah.
yeah, what should we expect within the because we spoke about September and December as some upcoming stages. What should we expect within the short term? Because I mean, you guys are launched, if I understand correctly. The token is already launched.
The token is
Correct. So
launched. It's for the
we're in
metaverse.
like an intermediary stage between phase one and phase two. I actually have some updates going live. Like we have some updates pending to go live on the website to edit the roadmap and a couple other things like that. Um, we have tomorrow or the next day, I believe we'll be kind of formalizing some deal points with Pulse Convention and Crazy Horse 3 nightclub slash strip club over there in Las Vegas, which coming with that will be the release of a Road to PulseCon event and a couple other things like that. So that roadmap will have some manipulations or some changes rather made to it here shortly, and we'll reflect those all there. But we're in stage or phase 1.5, let's call it. There's a few things that still need to happen and a few things that have happened from further on that are happening now. So it's a nice little, we're right there in the middle.
Perfect, perfect. I thought at some point we had another addition to your comment. I'm not sure if that's the case, but if it is, please feel free to interrupt me. What I wanted to ask is, I'm looking at your phase one. Where was I? Launch party in Miami. Did that by any chance happen already?
Oh yeah,
You did.
Man, and I missed it. Oh,
bro, you missed it, man. You missed it.
I'm not even close to you guys, but still,
We,
Miami's Miami.
I thought something. I had a feeling that we were missing something there, Alex. What's going on? Why weren't you there?
Traffic. That's all I can say, man. Traffic.
Traffic. Yeah, traffic across the pond, right?
Pretty much across the globe.
Yeah.
I couldn't make the connection between the flights. So, going into your phase two, because we're halfway there. What's missing from phase two aside for the marketing partnerships? Because that's probably gonna be an ongoing stage. Phase three, phase four, marketing, and more marketing.
But we've
Um,
already started to, yeah, we've already started to roll out those like larger scale marketing partnerships, and those are going to be acquired just continuously over time. There's no like stopping that rollout essentially. And we're shooting for some really large brand partnerships with other like non-meta companies. So those also once again will continue to roll out. Um, we have we are still so believe our application was put in for CMC CoinGecko. I know we were debating with our marketing partner, myself and my marketing team. We were debating on going and doing some DEX tools trending or looking to go to the central exchange route. So some of the things that I believe are in phase three actually we're speeding up. From the talks that I've had with Clint, and this isn't concrete, but this is very much like the direction we are heading. It's likely we're going to release a bridge to BNB and go the central exchange route so that we broaden our potential investor reach to the BSC market, and as well as getting the central exchange holders, lower the tax model, and then focus on generating revenue through the actual services and other things rendered. This way, we don't have to tax our investors and our holders. But that's the direction that we'd like to be going here shortly. So it modifies that roadmap a little bit. I think it puts us in a better position. I think it makes us more serious, especially like then going back. So from the position of we've got let's say two or three smaller exchanges, central exchanges, a bridge to BNB. So now we're accessible from pretty much every avenue, and then going and getting another round of these call groups to let everybody know what's going on. And then the DEX tools trending will really send us through the roof and propel us in the direction that we need to go and continue to go. That alongside of the real world events that we're doing and things like Road to PulseCon and the press and other things that we have that are going to surround all of that. I genuinely think that we're going to be in a really, really, really good place.
Definitely, definitely. Out of curiosity, I'm gonna make this comment. I'm gonna make a note to make this comment towards the end. But I advise any of our followers here, of our 70 close to 80 participants, take a look at the chart, you guys, and yeah, you're probably gonna figure what I'll say in a couple of minutes. Before I make my comment on the chart, let me know in regards to the. First of all, you guys chose Ethereum as a blockchain to launch. Uh, at the moment, and speaking of at the moment, that means from the beginning of the launch, you didn't have. Do you have the NFTs or the metaverse ready? Were they, let's say, ready from the beginning, and you're just fine tuning them? Because I want to know what was the judgment. Um, Although it was a 100% correct decision in my opinion, what was your judgment when launching, going straight to Ethereum uh, instead of others, not BSC in particular, but others.
So the metaverse is actually, it's when I came on board and before going with the token, the NFTs were built already on Ethereum and Polygon. And Clint can speak to that a little bit more, but they were already built on Polygon and Ethereum. So the idea for putting the token on the Ethereum network was just kind of a no brainer. Also, the trust factor that Ethereum offers over like the BSC space. I mean, we all know just like BSC is filled right now with people just trying to quote unquote yeet or jeet, and just there's it's just not as serious. And I think for like a metaverse project, and like with the amount of utilities and services and things that we plan on providing, it was just the best route to go. Also, knowing of the pulse chain fork that was coming was a big deal as well, because I know that we can fork or bridge to pulse and have a little to no gas fee option. um, that is still a direct fork of Ethereum.
Pretty much, Dan. Let's say more or less the answer that I was expecting. And now that you actually mentioned that, I'd like to make a comment, a quick comment on the chart. It's pretty obvious. Now, you guys launched roughly, I'll say, 3 weeks ago. 18th
Yes,
of
sir.
May would be the proper date, right?
Correct. Correct, sir.
That's right.
Perfect. Okay. Now, even then, the market as it is today, not an ideal condition. Um, not bad, not good, terrible, whatever. Everybody sees it in their own way. And yet, your all-time high was achieved in about 12 days. Let's say roughly 2 weeks. I'm not sure on the excess amount. Doesn't even matter. That's when the all-time high went. From there on, although the market started to kind of terribly go down, you guys dropped a mere, should I say, maybe 15 to 20%? Am I fairly close to that?
Correct. Yeah, I believe it was about 18 to 22% was like our biggest dip.
Pretty much, pretty much. Yeah, you're not actually on your biggest dip right now, and you're not close
Yeah.
to that. This is, and man, if this doesn't give pretty much everybody here a good insight, then nothing does. If this would have been a Binance Smart Chain token,
We'd
maybe
be
even a
gone.
different,
We'd be
not
gone.
gone, we wouldn't be having this AMA. I mean, what would you guys what would you present to me?
The
So
chart
first
would
of
look
all,
exactly the opposite.
exactly. So basically, where you're looking at the start, that would be the end. So you started, and bam. You remember Miami? No Miami, man. There's no Miami. Not in your roadmap. Again, I'm not flooding for everybody here. I'm not flooding Binance Smart Chain or Polygon or Avalanche or the other 50 blockchains. I'm just saying, as a support for every project that has a long term vision and has the ways, not only financially, the ways of sustaining it. This is how a chart should look in a bear market. We're in a bear market. I'm sorry if you guys disagree. That's where I personally am. This is how a chart should look, man. So you guys have so many things prepared because I mean, if you guys don't have a plan, if your community is not there, or it is, and they're waiting and they're waiting, and you guys are, wasting time, then they eventually they would be forced to sell because it's boring. Why am I keeping a token if I'm not actually gaining? So what am I missing between here and, let's say, September? Um, let's assume let's assume I'm an investor. What would be your first, or give me a couple of incentives on why should I keep the token? Because I'm clearly aware that your community knows this. I feel like I don't. What am I missing in this story?
So the main reason that you should keep the token is because one, you'll be able to use the token for the final and the final mint when we go to release the actual full avatar creator and metaverse. You'll be able to use Ethereum, and it'll be so if you have Ethereum now, or excuse me, Umbrium now, and Umbrium continues to climb, you essentially will be able to mint your avatar for very cheap if we continue to X over X over X. Now, that's to say you didn't just go ahead and get one of the blank avatars that we're releasing in September. So those are two main reasons to continue to hold. One, the September release, where we actually release the blank avatars, and that will be for a significantly cheaper price. Those avatars will then be put into the character creator, where you will then pick your traits and develop your custom avatar, your custom character, which we'll get into showing as we still haven't even demoed. The other reason, which like you said, our community knows, and you're missing here, is the releases we're doing over like week after week after week. We're dropping new information, new releases, new little videos of what's going on in the metaverse and the development. So for our community, it's exciting. Like every week, they get to see like a new character getting made. They get to see a new, like when Shamir shows you what we've got, like you'll see why the excitement is there. You'll see, what we're doing and why our holders are holding and anticipating the future. Um, we've got, like I mentioned, we've got the Pulse Chain edition and we've got the Bridge to BNB. So those are also two exciting things for our holders to hold out for and wait for. We've got press that's going to be rolling out. We haven't even done mainstream press and media yet because we've been waiting to do that press circling around the actual metaverse because the coin isn't as cool. The coin isn't that cool. It's the metaverse and all the stuff that we're doing that's really cool. And the way you're going to be able to get any of that cool shit, excuse my language, is the coin. So get the coin now. It's not the glamorous thing. It's the metaverse is the glamorous thing. But if you want the metaverse, you got to pay for it with Umbreum.
I'm gonna be honest with you and your entire team. I'm beginning to feel a bit salty because I've missed this so far. I have no idea where was I when you guys were preparing to launch and developing. No, I swear to
So
God,
early, man.
typically, I am. I'm not saying that you guys hit the, like the all time high, but still, I'm thinking aside for this AMA, what would have happened if I wasn't hosting this AMA? I would have missed Umbrium. Like, man, I gotta keep my eyes open. I have no idea how did I miss you guys.
So that's the
Now,
thing. And that's the thing. We're gonna have a really large. So we did a really large marketing push to get Umbreum out there, but it was also pretty condensed. I mean, it was pushed out pretty fast. We had some deadlines that we had to meet. So now that we're out, and now that we've got this healthy chart and we've got all of the stuff coming, now is really the time where we actually have the ability to, and I don't want to say sit back, but we have the ability to kind of like position ourselves and market now forward in a way that will get to everyone like you, will get your eyes on it. And that's going to come from, more calls. It's going to come from some support from influencers, some support from press, a really large viral campaign again, like a Gleam or viral sweep, which we'll be doing again. And I mean, we didn't want to reach out to the AMAs and stuff until we had the token trading because I know it's a lot more attractive to these listeners. Like, oh shit, the token's live right now. Let's go buy it. Like while we're in the AMA, versus talking about a token that's coming and just offering like pre-sale or whitelist and then people forget about it a month later. Like, no, that's not fun. We wanted to come to the AMAs and talk about the coin like while you guys can buy it, excite you guys with videos and show you guys the metaverse and say, hey, look, you like what you see? Go get the coin now. So it was a little strategic, but I'm sad you missed it. It's not too late though, bro.
yeah, I'm actually thinking. I'm not miss. I mean, sure, maybe I've missed a bit of the start, but that doesn't actually make a difference for me. Um, yeah, this is quite the concept, and the fact that you guys have such vast experience. I'm not talking about the members, just the members that I see here, because I understand you have more. That kind of makes me wonder where can this go. I mean, what else can you guys do? I'm sure you have something prepared, but um, yeah,
There's
partnerships, marketing, and development, and I need to know, man.
Clint has Clint. So Clint has his background is with Hollywood and other large companies. He's got access to some pretty serious technology and links. I mean, she's freaking smart as all hell and knows a lot of people. So there is no shortage of accessibility and resources that we have at like our fingertips. We have some of the best, if not the best, team on this project, without a doubt. So I mean, honestly, I really would love to turn this over to Shamir to just kind of like let you see what the hell we're talking about. I
Yeah.
think
Please do.
you're gonna be
Please
really
do that.
pissed. If you had FOMO before, you're gonna have some serious FOMO when you see this.
Yeah,
I'll be
I
honest
can.
with you, Samir. Uh, my next questions are going to be in regards to the total supply roadmap, tokenomics, so on and so forth. Forget about those. Show me something, man, because I'm already, as I've said, I'm already a bit salty. I don't know where I was. Uh, Come on,
The
make me
tokenomics are
wanna want it
simple.
more.
The supply, I'll go through really quick. It's a 50 bill supply, 35 billion circulated. The remaining 15 billion is going to be going on to the central exchanges and stuff like that. And some of it was retained for any like really large partnerships we establish. Um, in terms of like team money, team wallets and stuff, like we have 6% of the total supply is with the team's hands. 2% of it is with me and Jimmy, my partner in crime. Well, I shouldn't say partner in crime. The crypto space, that doesn't really sound good. Jimmy, my partner, and Clint and Links have 4%, and that goes to like their whole. Like, I mean, that's they're like, this is their baby, and they've got 4% of the supply. Like that's that's nothing. Then there's the remaining 4% that's floating that we're actually going to be burning. So there's another plug for everybody. Hey, go buy some Umbreum now because we are burning 4% of the supply coming up here soon. It was from a partnership that ended up not panning out. So we had allocated supply, and we're just going to get rid of it now. So hoorah for everybody! But pretty simple tokenomics. Like I said, the coin itself isn't really anything to like gawk about. It's not. It's it's all pretty cut and dry. It's just meant to work and work well.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I mean, not that it's not special, but what you can do with it and where. And I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what can I do with it and where. I'm probably assuming now is the time to show everybody. Hoping.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Shamir, show them the
yeah, yeah,
goods.
yeah. Yeah. So, of course, we've been working on this for a few weeks to months now. Uh, Let me share my screen. So, what I'm gonna show you is a little bit of the progress we've made. So, characters, you are going to mint a skeleton or mannequin, and then afterwards, when we are going to be releasing the September demo for September, we are going to have some gameplay. So you're going to, and I'm going to show a little bit of the gameplay too. The characters will look somewhat like this. You're going to be able to mint your avatars and then customize them the way you like them. You will have access to clothing options, color, skins, whatever. You will most likely be able to do whatever you want with the characters. They all look, I think, well, as you can see, they look fairly high quality. We've tried to push for quality, and here I have a little bit of the space we've been working on. So this is everything is going to be expanding for the September demo. We have a club. We have 3 floors for a club. We have the VIP areas, which is like the first floor. That's going to be your opera areas where you have like your VIP rooms where you can go and be like a one-on-one type thing. You have your main areas where you have your spaces where you can walk and talk, and then you have the club area, which is like down here. And yeah, I'm also sharing my audio, so I want to show a little bit of how this looks if I go into the play mode. And the music syncs with the environment, so everything will look like this for the release. You're going to be able to play this on mobile, on web devices, and a bunch of different things. So yeah, it's exciting. We are building something different. We are working towards a proper demo with visuals, quality, and yeah, characters will be all around this place sooner rather than later.
Man, this looks so cool.
And that's the whole
And
idea, man.
that's just the nightclub. So that's actually
Yeah,
just one little piece. Like you're gonna mint an avatar. You're gonna get your own apartments when you mint your avatar. You'll be able to monetize these apartments. So that's almost gonna be like one way that we have for people to make passive income. You can rent your apartment out for other people to use. You can host private events in your apartment. Um, for content creators, we are an adult metaverse. We are approaching people like the adult industry, OnlyFans, things like that. They can use their apartment for their content. They can token gate it at a certain price of Umbreum to get in. Um, for example, this AMA could be held in the Crypto Pickles apartment lounge, where you have it sponsored by Smirnoff and people are purchasing drinks with Umbreum and interacting in the space, and you're literally hosting the AMA as your avatar as a person.
yeah,
I was actually thinking while sorry to step in, just a comment before I let you proceed. I was actually thinking if that's only a portion, and it is of what we're seeing, how does the rest look?
yeah.
Uh,
We're going to be building. So we're going to have
it's pretty
exterior areas.
serious.
It's going to be like your Disneyland line when you have like your big spaces, your mega malls, your big spaces. Well, we have to build up to it, but it's going to happen, and we update almost daily, weekly, definitely. Like every week, we have new things to show. As Dan was saying, like new characters, new areas, we new things added to the environment. Like we update. Like we are working on this, and we are taking things seriously.
I would say so because, and again, I'm going to compare this project in particular to pretty much everything else that we're seeing on the space. As Dan said, the core concept of it is going to rely on the metaverse, the activities, what you can do in it, and Umbrium is just going to be the native token, as pretty much every single other currency that we're using in the real life is. Now, the fact that you guys grew your community to such a level, and they're already hyped on this, makes me wonder how long have you got? I mean, how should I put this? Um, how much time as an approximate yeah, how many years I'll say, definitely not months, so how many years would you say it's going to take for you to reach the absolute peak of the project?
I would I will let Clint elaborate on this, but I don't think that there will be a peak to this project so far as his imagination and Lynx's imagination can run wild.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to jump in here. The fact is, um, there are just about an infinite number of directions we can go with the project, which means that our roadmap is long, winding, and forks in 500 different directions. We have access to volumetric capture technology, AI technology. Beyond that, we have game development ideas, and so a lot of this is going to be working in conjunction with our community to know what they want next, because it doesn't do a lot for us to build a metaverse that nobody wants to be in. So we're going to be developing things that people want to do, but major priorities are creating experiences that people have been looking to have in metaverses, whether that's living your life and attending a concert and going to a bar and going to a club or going to a casino, or some of the more adult risque things that most people want to experience in a more immersive way that we're really leaning into. So I think there's a lot of different ways you could see us go, and it's going to be a lot of community driven stuff.
Yeah, I can only imagine that. I mean, my question was kind of not weird, but unanswerable to put it in perspective. It's not like you could actually say, okay, in 5 years we would have built everything that we had in mind. um, that's simply not the case, especially how you guys are targeting pretty much everything. This is not, correct me if I'm wrong, this is not a project that's solely relying on the crypto investors. You guys are going to probably eventually target a full adoption, crypto aficionados and
Yes.
people that are not interested in crypto.
We want to make barriers to entry for this incredibly low so that the ability for full scale adoption is exactly that. It's just we don't. I mean, we're moving to a world with Web3 and with NFTs and metaverse. This will just be customary. People aren't going to think like I'm minting an NFT. Like it's just I'm minting my avatar. It's an NFT. That's just what it is. It's what it will be, and we want the ease of adoption. We want that ease of adoption. So we're definitely going to move forward to marketing and educating much larger crowds, mass media, and things that are not crypto specific at all, but more so like just people who want to be in this space and want to be in a metaverse where they can do anything that they want safely and freely.
It definitely makes sense. I mean, I wanted to say pretty much the same thing, but I didn't actually have the words. So thanks for that.
It's okay. I've
And
had to say it a few more times than you have.
definitely, and I think you will keep saying this. Probably your let's say your promotion, post launch promotion, pre metaverse launch promotion is gonna probably inquire a couple of more AMAs or calls. So yeah, I'm assuming you guys are gonna keep keep at it. My only question, personally, my only question before we jump probably into some of the community questions would be, if you guys actually wrote the contract yourself, which I assume yes, and is it audited and by whom?
What was that last part? Did we write the contract ourselves or what? It cut out.
Yeah, basically, if you wrote the contract like someone from your team did, or did you hire a third party dev, and if you actually got an audit for the contract?
We wrote that. Jimmy wrote it. My guy. Jimmy wrote it. He's been a part of some really serious projects. This contract has been used on those projects, and I mean, I can't say their names, but they're big, and you guys probably all actually own part of them. So this contract was forked from a very popular coin that Jimmy was part of the development of, and it has been modified slightly a few times. Obviously, some different things. Um, but yes, and it's been audited in the past multiple times. It has not been Surtech audited yet by this in this most current phase. However, we'll probably be having that done here pretty quick. That or so I know we can get tech rate done really fast. We have a very close connection with them. But a lot of those other audits are just kind of like they just scan the code. They don't actually read it. They look for any like blatant discrepancies or inconsistencies and stuff. But we want to get a good solid audit done.
Indeed, it makes sense. Not that tech rate wouldn't be a good option, but um, there are others. It's all we're saying for now. With all the
Yeah,
respect of tech rate.
there's a ton. Yeah, tech rate's got its. I've heard back and forth lately. Tech rate used to be really good. I've heard people lately saying that not so much now. I feel like it changes so frequently. I know Surtech is just like gonna take it. I mean, people if we go the Surtech route, it just takes a long time. Long time. People say they can get it done super quick, but considering we would have to have several different things like different things done for our audit, it would take Surtech a while. And that's not to say we're not going to go that route. It's just we want to try and get some other ones done first, just to at least give the peace of mind, and then we'll go ahead and sink our teeth into the Surtech one because it takes a while just to kind of let it do its process. But at least we can say, hey, look, we've got this, and this done already. You know.
Yeah, definitely. I get where you're coming from. Yeah, I'm not gonna comment on what was take rate and how they are right now, because
Feel free to
personally,
DM me
uh,
though. Please, actually, like DM me your concerns or whatever, because I'm always like, if it's impossible to always know everything, like, and keep your pulse, your finger on the pulse. So, like, if there's some stuff you can kind of key me into that maybe I don't know, I'd like to know.
definitely. I mean, I will do that whenever you get the chance. If you're happy with my, let's say, comments, sure. I can only assume that you probably get 1,000 DMs per day, so
Yeah.
we'll see how that goes. But definitely, we will. We will be looking forward to that. Now, before I jump into some of the community questions, let me ask you guys: is there anything that I may have missed uh, from the presentation of of the project itself? Hopefully not.
I really don't think that you did. I think that everything was pretty well antiquated. You've asked some really great questions. We've spent a lot of time going over them. I hope that we've done a sufficient job answering all of those questions. Um, Outside of that, no, I think everything's good. Does anybody feel like there was anything not covered or not touched on thoroughly? Anyone on my team? Anything that you want me to kind of go over again, guys?
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Nothing on my end. I mean, I think this was
Cool.
actually a pretty comprehensive AMA.
Well, happy to hear that. Let's see. I've actually selected some of the community questions I saw. They kind of caught my eye, and to be fairly honest, I would have so many other questions, but yeah, let's give others a chance. So the first one that I saw is in regards to your community, and my understanding is that you guys value and appreciate your community at a whole different level. I know that's the case. Um, would you offer your community, let's say, ownership within the project, either as a DAO community or eventually, let's say, a different module where if people invest, they could be responsible for some of the metaverse decisions? Is that something that you guys take
That,
into account?
So I
that
think
is.
I'll take it, Dan. I'm
Go ahead.
happy to
Yeah.
take this one. I think we have. I mean, a DAO is certainly something we've been considering for the future. I mean, there are a lot of different ideas for how to get the community involved, but one of the advantages to the kind of metaverse structure that we're talking about is that you can have actual ownership of parts of it. Now that won't include. Now we don't mean that in the case of a traditional land sale. We're not going to carve it up like Google Maps or plots or do your kind of typical sandbox decentraland kind of thing, but there are going to be ownership opportunities in a variety of different ways within the metaverse. So that alone is going to enable people to help make decisions. Additionally, as I mentioned earlier, we are going to be having the community aid in choosing how we do grow, alongside bringing in partnerships that the community does agree with as well. So there are a lot of different ways that the community can be involved. Whether or not that's going to be formally as a DAO or not is something we're still figuring out with our legal counsel, actually, because we need to run this as visibly as possible if we intend to operate as a company for a long time coming.
Yeah.
It does
Kind
make
of
sense.
touch.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
go ahead, Daniel.
I was gonna say, yeah, to kind of touch on like what Clint said. I know it would be pretty cool to have some kind of governance token. Like literally, we are creating a city, so to speak. So it would be kind of cool to have almost like the ability to be on a council or have a vote in things that occur in the metaverse in the city, based off of like an NFT utility gating or like the level, like your avatar, depending on it could be like a network to earn almost money. But these are things that we would talk about. But I think it would be a really cool idea. I'd love to see what we can do with that. I know Clint's been thinking about stuff like that.
For sure. And that was and I know when somebody says the words legal counsel, there everybody's suddenly like, oh, the idea's dead. But no, I mean, we just want to make sure that we exist for a long time. And part of that is making sure that we are doing everything within legal bounds, because we don't want to create a project that our community loses.
Yeah, sorry, it is.
Definitely.
I actually had this. I'm at this convention at the moment. I had to go to a different level, and it's a little bit loud, so I'm going to mute myself. I apologize.
No worries, Daniel. Yeah, it was. There were periods where we could hear some background noise, but that's okay. Not even a problem. The important thing is that we managed, as you guys said, to pretty much cover almost everything. Two more questions that I saw from the community. There are a lot of them, but two that actually caught my attention. During these, crazy times, we're seeing more and more exploits. Now, how did you guys tackle the let's say fraud protection slash security for the project itself? And is there a sort of, let's say, treasury fund, insurance fund, whatever? Should that be the case and it happens to you guys. Hopefully not, but we keep seeing weird stuff over the space. Not on Ethereum, to make it clear, but it so happens. So did you guys prepare in any way for that?
This is a little bit more of a Clint direction question, but I know that we hold ourselves, and I said this in a previous AMA, and I'm gonna repeat it again. We at the Dark Nexus hold ourselves to the utmost highest moral standards. So from every single aspect of everything we do, we make sure that our moral compass is aligned with the goals of this company. Like that everything is we're doing everything right. So in terms of security, fraud protection, everything like that, that's a pillar for us. So before Clint kind of gets into that, I just want to key in, like, we have every intention of doing every single thing that we can in our power, consistently, time and time again, to meet the best standards of morality and the way to do business in this space.
Yeah, and I mean, just as far as security in the project goes, I mean, look, what we'll say is that we backed the token with a sufficient liquidity pool when we started, that we felt comfortable with launching the product where we were at, and we've obviously built to something that's very, very that we feel is that we're very comfortable that we can continue to back with the growth of our metaverse and continue to show our community that we're building into the project. As far as overall budget for the metaverse and the project itself, this has been privately funded up to this point. This is a passion project and has largely been funded privately by the founding partners, and is one that we're going to continue to fund. We're just beginning to talk. We've chosen to privately fund it up until now to maintain creative control over the project. However, we are just beginning to branch out to talk with potential investment partners, as we now feel like we're in a comfortable enough place with the product that we've maintained creative control and can now begin to bring in other partners to build this out to be a larger with greater funding. So we're not going anywhere. We're comfortably secure as a project that's going to continue to exist. As for whether or not there's a particular treasury fund, as it were, we're not blowing out the budget, because that our budget has been personally funded at this juncture, and we have enough budgeted to continue to exist for quite a while to come.
I would definitely say so. That, yeah, I would expect that you guys have some prepared budget. Yeah, the security reason, it just so happens that we kind of saw that some projects were targeted, and yeah, I'm not saying it's gonna happen again. Hopefully not. But it is sometimes some, let's say, a concern. Another thing that I kind of I was actually thinking, kind of slipped the chat here. I know that someone wanted to know something. Actually, you know what? Since this might be the last question, let's see. Any hands raised? Um, Probably
Hello.
Jubenga. Yeah, there you go. There you go, my brother. Ask your question, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for the opportunity. To this project, I think they've really done wonderful presentation. I'm really bullish about that. I'm just kind of curious going through the white paper. I saw they're gonna have a games competition where they will be having a prize for people to participate and airdrop, where they will be traveling participants to a country like that. I'm just kind of curious, what are the plans of the teams to do it in such a way, to do it in a transparent manner, so that project like this, I've seen a project like that, that they organize a something like that, and most of the winner actually be part of the project owner or project developers or some out like that. What will be their plan so that doing it for the community, it will be more transparent, and when exactly with this kind of something event occur, because it happens to be at the top of their roadmap. So I actually don't know, maybe it has occurred, or when should we be expecting an event like this? An event like this, for it to happen, you have to cut across all the crypto space. Are you guys trying to, what are your plans to cut across all the crypto space, probably having different communities? And what are your plans to get involved of others that doesn't speak English or other local communities, so that the project will be a developed one, it should be an elaborated one, it will not just be a limited project. because it's actually a great project. What will be your plans? What are the plans you're having with regards to this?
I'm honestly not sure what your question is. There was a lot said there. Um, what is your main question? What are our plans to do for expanding to other language communities? Is that the primary question that you had there at the end?
Yes, that would be that. Yeah, that's my question. And also this transparency with respect to the events that will be happening on this project. I mean, your plans to cut across other communities, like non-English speaking communities and stuff like that.
So we definitely have plans to expand and have different speaking communities within our Discord. There will be channels for other languages, other nations and communities. And in terms of transparency for what we have, like upcoming events and stuff like that, I mean, it's in our best interest to be transparent. So we're going to tell everybody everything we're doing all the time across all communities. Um, I hope that answered your question. Did it?
Yeah, it's really this. A project like this is really it's actually good if you can do that. But going through your white paper on the mission, like I said, you have plans to for game contest and you have planned to give a trip to Miami. I was like, I'm kind of curious. When would this kind of event happen? When should we be expecting something
We
like this?
already
And how
so
will
we
you guys
already did
do
that.
it? Oh, awesome.
No, that's okay.
You
That's
already
totally
did
okay.
that, right?
We already did that, and we actually have another similar event coming up. We're going to be doing another Gleam campaign with a similar
Okay.
contest and trip to Las Vegas coming up. So that'll be your chance. And Alex, hint hint, that's your chance to come and not miss your connecting flight this time.
Awesome,
Vegas,
awesome,
Vegas.
awesome, awesome. I think
Sorry, was that everything, or it's like I said, it is a little bit hard. I do apologize. I'm at CoinDesk's convention.
No worries, no worries. Yeah, I would say thanks for the questions, Jubenga. Definitely thanks for the answer as well. Looking at the time, I would say, and I'm gonna ask this again just to make sure. Um, we probably, at least from my perspective, in regards to the project, what we could find out and what could be disclosed, I think we kind of covered everything. Um, this being said, I'm gonna give you guys the floor, whichever one of you wants. If you guys want to make like an ending statement for DMA, I'll say this, and I think I speak for the community. I'm into the project, that's for sure. I would say I'm gonna wait for a dip, but that's probably not gonna happen. I think this is the lowest that I can see. I know why. It's Ethereum. We're looking at a different volume, different transactions. There hasn't actually been a sale at least for 40 minutes. So if that doesn't tell you much, and at the same time, Bitcoin kept dropping as a parity. So definitely, thanks for taking the time. Thanks you guys to each and every one of you, and to your contractors, and to the other members of the team that contributed to this. I look forward. I'm gonna actually make sure to join your community and not miss anything else. Hope to see you in Vegas if I'm the lucky winner.
See you in Vegas, Trace.
Definitely, Daniel. And I'll give you guys the floor now if you want to make an ending statement for Phoenix.
Yeah, well, thank you guys very much for having us today. I really appreciate it. To all the listeners, your questions, everything, thank you very much. Alex, thanks again for having us. You know, everybody, go ahead, get your piece of the pie now. Go buy some Umbreum, and we can't wait to see you guys in the community. Go ahead, get in those whitelist spots, and do your thing, and send them over to us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us. It was a pleasure, and thank you everybody in your community for the questions. It's very meaningful.
Thanks, everyone.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, everybody who participated. Thanks to the engagement. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you to the rest of the team. Much appreciated your time. Yeah, best of luck and hope to see you guys out there. I'm already a part of the community and I look forward to Vegas. See you guys out there. Thanks a lot to everybody. Bye for now. Have a great evening.